Hey everybody, welcome to Your Unpaid Therapist.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Your Unpaid Therapist.
I'm not getting paid. I didn't even get a donut.
Oh, that's sexy though. I like it.
I'm Valerie Milagros Ortiz.
I don't know.
I am your host, Ali Kona. She's away. Bradford.
This is Your Unpaid Therapist. Shoo-wah, cha-cha. I'm gonna kick it off with a ditty, guys. When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie, that's amore. And that's what I think of every time I think of these two ladies, because they are my pizza pals. Like anytime I'm hungry and I want a pizza, I can count on one of these two guys to show up. So
That is facts.
it really is. Welcome to Unpaid Therapist. And joining me is my pizza pal number one, Valerie Ortiz.
Hey everybody, what's up? What's up?
And then pizza pal number two is going to be a returning guest. You know her. You love her. She's a manifestation coach, and she's got the resume to back it up. It is Teresa Espinosa.
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
Hi. Okay, so I'm really excited. What?
I was saying, welcome to season 2 to Teresa.
Oh, yes. Congrats.
Yeah. We got new goodies for our opener, but real quick, just want to let you guys know that today's episode we are going to talk about money. A great topic. Manifesting money, healing ancestral wounds related to money, and also the things that you talk about and say around your children, how it can affect their money mindset as well too. So we'll get to that in just a second, but first we have to start with our singing opener, and I'm going to toss it to Val because I always do.
So season 1, we did Never Have I Evers, and we would pick cards and we'd answer this Never Have I Ever. A lot of fun. So if you guys haven't listened to any of those episodes, check them out because you're going to find out a lot about us. Season 2, we're picking a song that maybe represents our week or things that we've been thinking about lately. And this is kind of right on the nose because when thinking about this episode and what it represents, and also too, like I just had a premiere for a film that I was in, Ali Kona went, and
right.
Thinking of that and just like the future, the song that came to my head, and there's a lyric in this song that I can't wait to sing and one day and like really mean it. But the song is 7 Rings by Ariana Grande. Do you ladies know it? I'm always so bad at this part, but hold on, it goes, I'm looking at the lyrics, y'all. Actually, I'm gonna play a little bit. Deposits, my gloss is popping. You like my hair? Gee, thanks. Just spot it. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got 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 it. You like my hair? Gee, thanks. Just spot it. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it. Then it says, oh, wait, hold on. Wearing a ring, but ain't gonna be no misses. Bought matching diamonds for 6 of my bitches.
Hey.
That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. But I love that. I love that lyric because I'm like, how fun would that be to like go into a jewelry store with like your girls and be like, let's get like matching BFF bracelets, except they're not like plastic or something. They're like dope. I don't know. Ever since I've ever heard that song and that lyric, I was like, you know what? One day, un dia, I'm gonna make that happen. That's my song, and the reason I thought about it was because of the episode and things happening in my life and just fantasizing about the future.
I like it. Okay,
Yes.
so I'll go next. I'll let Teresa have a moment to like mentally prepare.
Oh, no.
So I'll go ahead and do mine is a throwback.
I love
like,
it.
All my songs are old, but that's, I guess, in hopes that people know it. I don't know. Anyways, okay. And related to this episode. Okay, because baby, I want money, lots and lots of money. I want the pie in the sky. I want to be rich, la, 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 for more peace and happiness. That's my song.
You know what's funny is I've never heard that song until not too long ago because
Oh.
David was singing it, and I think maybe it was playing, and yeah, I was like, "Oh, I've never heard that." And now that you saying it right now, I was like, "Huh, I know what song it is."
Wow. I mean, I remember it playing in the car when I was a kid, and like my mom and dad would sing that song.
Right, but
Crazy.
playing in the car when I was a kid was like Mark Anthony. You know what I mean?
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Like we didn't, you know what I mean? So like if I was little, I wasn't listening to like American music. So
Oh, I thought you
I
were just
like that
hinting at the
song.
fact that the rest of us are old or something. And I was like, excuse
No, I'm
me.
just saying that like my parents wouldn't listen to, I wouldn't have heard that song. But so why did you pick it? I mean, I know the topic of the show, but is there another reason?
Well, because of the topic of the show, I went back because I had taken a money EQ class, which is what inspired this episode in general. So I wanted to go back and do some review so I could talk about it today, and just got me in the headspace of like, yeah, money, money,
Yes,
money.
you ready.
So, anyways, but what
Okay,
about you, Teresa?
It's your turn, girl.
Okay. This is a stretch for me because I don't normally sing in public. So,
You can
okay,
like talk sing.
it's fine. It's gonna be terrible. It's fine. You must be my lucky star because you shine on me wherever you are. I just think of you and I start to glow, and I need your light. And baby, you know, starlight, star bright, first star I've seen tonight. Starlight, star bright, make everything all right.
Yay!
That's it.
Yay!
Cute.
Oh,
She's sweating,
I'm
guys.
hot.
She's sweating.
I'm very curious
I
why you
did.
picked that.
Oh, well, one, I was like, I need a song that I kind of remember. I'm terrible with remembering lyrics. So even though I grew up on that song, um, I still needed the lyrics in front of me because I was like, oh, I'm not going to remember it. But
Fair.
it's perfect. It's a lucky star. It's, I think feeling lucky is a good part of manifestation, right? So
Mm.
I like bringing that luck energy into the space.
And so, since we do have a manifestation coach here, I'm going to ask your advice first. But I think the thought that comes to mind when people think about money is like, how can I get more? So let's start there.
Well, the idea that how can I get more really means that you don't have more and that you're wanting more. So even the question is saying to God, life, source, universe, that you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And manifesting it really, so we say manifesting, and then underneath that is the law of attraction, which supports the idea of manifesting. And then underneath the law of attraction is law of vibration. So at the core, we're vibrating lack. When we say, how do I get more? We're vibrating lack. And so the law of attraction set with the universe, God again only says yes. So when we want more, the universe says, yes, you want more. And so it can only give us what we're vibrating and sending out. We can't
Right.
receive something that we're not.
Right.
So,
Well, no, you know what? Then that leads me to, then I do want to rewind and take it back, because then a lot of people may not realize, I was saying earlier, ancestral wounds and money wounds, which is not, I think, a term we talk about often, or maybe people haven't heard. But a
Mm-hmm.
money wound is basically a negative thought or belief that was passed down to you from your parents or from their parents, and you don't even realize it, right? So it's like scarcity and stuff like that. So, for example, if your grandparent, like my parents' parents, grew up during World War II. So they grew up in a time where there was not a lot of money and they were rationing things out. So they passed on scarcity to my mom, who then now, though she has, operates out of scarcity, and everything is like clipping coupons and, oh, honey, like when I was a kid, we can't afford that, or no, you can't keep taking gymnastics, like that's expensive and that's expensive. And
Mm-hmm.
so without even realizing it, like subconsciously, I picked up her money wounds. and then from my subconscious operate from, oh, like I need to save, I need to have, I need to, oh, is it on sale? I got to go to get like the cheapest thing possible. And so,
Mhm.
like you said, Teresa, it's like, well, then how am I going to get more money if I'm constantly like operating out of fear? So I don't know. I mean, not to cut the conversation off, but I just feel like it's like being able to acknowledge those and ask. I did this exercise once where basically I wrote a letter to my ancestors and asked them for permission to succeed more than they did, have more money than they did, and not feel guilt of whatever it may be, if it's a
Mm.
vibration that's somewhere in my lineage that I'm not aware of.
Mhm.
I
So
Where
that
did
was,
love
you get
that
that?
idea.
Was that from your class?
no, I mean, the term money wounds from the class, but it was actually for this 21-day challenge I did for Deepak Chopra. It was like a meditation
Oh,
for
okay.
abundance. And I don't know
Mhm.
who started this chain on WhatsApp because you can't find it anywhere. And each day had an exercise with it. And so one day it was like, you write a letter to your ancestors and say, I'm so sorry that you endured X, Y, and Z. And I know that it was hard. And I know that you did your best and you operated in a way to where you were trying to protect your family, feed your family, and whatever. But those beliefs don't serve me. I live in a different time now. So, with your permission, I would like to have more than you had.
Mm. That's so
I
interesting.
love that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that, and that must be that generational money wound, because I would never think to ask my ancestors for permission to have more than them. Like there's nothing in me that would be like, you know what? Like I wish I'm going to ask them to wish me the best and let me be better than them, because innately I know they would
Hmm.
want me to have more than them, and succeed and pass on, and start a new generation of wealth and
Yeah, but that's
abundance. So
you and your family, and that's not me being like, oh, but like that's awesome. But there are some people's families, and it is not directly maybe your ancestor because you never met them, but your mom or dad. If you live in a family of competitiveness, there are some people who
Mhm.
have kids young. I've had friends who their mothers were jealous of them, jealous of their beauty, jealous
Yeah,
of their this, and jealous of that. And it's like the daughter then felt like they had to shrink themselves down because they didn't want their
yeah,
mother to feel bad. So I guess like in that case, I think the exercise would be helpful.
yeah. No, that's why I find it interesting, because no, I absolutely agree I'm validating that feeling.
Mm,
I just would, my brain would have never gone there. Like I would have, and to be frank, because this is our podcast, I wouldn't care. Like,
mm.
I wouldn't ask for permission or be like, I hope y'all are okay that I'm going to do better than you. I'm going to be like, whether you like it or not, or whether I have your blessing, I am and I will. Like, so it's such an interesting mindset. And then that's why I'm like, I'm so curious about it,
Yeah,
because my head would have never gone there, but I
yeah,
understand why it would, or where
yeah.
that seed would have been planted.
Hmm. What
Yeah.
about you, Teresa? I mean, I know we were talking about manifestation, but I would be curious to know, like, you and your upbringing, what were your beliefs around money? And then how did you have to change those? Or did you change those in order to become who you are in terms of manifestation and, all that stuff?
Yeah, I think, that's a great question. My parents were, I don't know how to explain. They were artists, so they really cultivated creativity, and I
Mm,
think that played a big part in me being able to pursue dance with so much, I guess, passion and tenacity and focus, because it was never about the money.
Hmm.
mm,
It was me pursuing dance. Money was not the reason why I danced. So it really kind of, I went into it very naive, fueled by creativity and passion. And I think all of that naiveness that I had about, I mean, I didn't even know I could have a career at dance when I first started. It was because it wasn't a concept yet
mm-hmm.
back in the
Yeah.
mid 90s.
Right. Hold
I
on.
didn't know.
For 2 seconds, for someone who hasn't caught season 1 of Your Unpaid Therapist, just like a quick rundown of Teresa Espinosa when she talks about dance. She choreographed 2 of the Magic Mike movies, co-choreographed. She's danced for everybody: Janet Jackson, Prince, Britney Spears. You can interrupt, but a lot of
right?
people that we idolize, Teresa's probably worked with them. So just sliding that one in there. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so I think the thing that was passed down was cultivating creativity, cultivating the self-expression, which leads to a version of success and money. You know, when you can do something with abandonment of not caring what the end result looks like, I think that really fuels success.
More.
So I think unconsciously, now that we're having this conversation, I've never put it into these words before. Now that we're having this conversation, I feel like my dad, he wrote a book. Okay. So he got these questions every day about his life, and he would write, and they turned it into a book, and I started reading it, and he's talking, the very first chapter is about my grandmother, his mom, and how she cultivated his creativity. And it just moved me to tears because my parents never said I couldn't do it, because they were artists themselves, and then I see how my parents are with my nieces, my sister's kids, and they're always painting, they're going to art museums, they're crafting things, and that idea of cultivating creativity just keeps going through the lineage. And I feel like that's really the point of being human to begin with, is to create. Right. And so
I do want to interrupt you because I don't want to fall off the focus of money. So how has the cultivating artistry or creativity, how has that tied into money for you and your family? Or like, how do you relate the two, I guess is where I want to get to.
Well, because money is generated, it's created and attracted, right? So if you're doing something you love and it has value in the marketplace, people will pay you for it, and you don't even necessarily have to be the best. Like, I don't feel like I was the best dancer. I just was like full-fledged on fire. And that energy of being in passion and the fullest self-expression of myself through dance allowed me to attract the Prince and the Janet and the Britney and the Mariah Carey and the Missy Elliott, all of those people. It was an attraction, and I didn't have language for that back then. I do now, because I'm a student of law of attraction and manifesting and all that, as well as as I teach it too. So and I just think that creativity is at the core what we're meant to do as humans. We're meant to create. Money's just a part of our creative expression. We're creating the lack. We're creating the abundance. And a lot of times we're just unaware of how do we do that. We're unaware that we're unconsciously creating lack. And that's why people are struggling, because they don't know that they have agency. They don't know that they have the ability to change the story and change the energetic core of abundance.
Right. But I know the answer, but I'm just going to ask. It's like, well, where does one start? Like, let's just say somebody wakes up and they're like, I am so sick and tired of being broke. I need to make a change. Like, clearly something's happening because the same pattern keeps happening. The same karmic pattern keeps happening, even though it's showing up differently. Right. So let's say, for example, again, your mom and dad operated out of scarcity, and you're like, well, I'm going to be nothing like them. I'm going to be an entrepreneur and da 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 da. But then you start running your business unbeknownst to you from a place of scarcity and fear, and what if I don't have enough customers, and da 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 da, and okay, in order to make my goal, and blah blah blah. And you can get money through those behaviors, but it's not going to be as satisfying of a journey. And I think you're always going to be living in that space of place of like worry and fear. So it's like, what does somebody do to change that? Because you have to start somewhere, and it's easier to say it than actually like mentally, emotionally change that.
Mhm. Yes, that's such a great question, because a lot of people are struggling, right? They're just surviving. People are surviving. And
Yeah.
how do you shift out of survival into abundance and thriving and prosperity? Because your current reality, if you're struggling currently and you feel like there's not enough money at the end of the month, right? There is an energetic feeling, belief, story, identity, meaning that you're attached to that creates your reality. And so it requires space. The first place I would say, look at the way that you speak about money, the way you speak about rich people.
That's a
That
good
will
one.
tell you a lot about where you're at with your money. When you demonize capitalism, this is not a political thing. I'm just saying, when you demonize the way that we participate in the economy, and that the rich people have all the money, and where's my piece of the pie, then you're coming from a very lack place.
I
It's
love that you're
literally
saying this.
just the lens.
I do. I just,
Because
I have a
yeah.
strong opinion. I get honestly really frustrated because, especially when it comes to when people talk about nepotism, I don't know why that like hits a different nerve, but I know there's a lot of people that hate it. They have these like, anybody's kid or person or cousin or whoever who may have gotten help or, a leg up because of who their parents were or family. And I'm like, let me tell you something. If and when like I'm at whatever level that these people are being hated on, you better believe that my child, my cousin's baby, Ali Kona, Teresa, whoever the fuck, we're all coming up, right? So like, and if people are going to be hating on that because, oh, but it was only because, it was Valerie's her mom, so that's the only reason she got that thing. And it's like, damn straight.
Right.
Because
But yes, and okay, I'm going to use Jennifer Aniston as an example because her father was famous, right? And so it's like, oh, well, she got her agent because of maybe, and her father is not the reason why Friends was successful. Her father is not the reason
correct.
why America fell in love with Jennifer
Right.
Aniston's character and she became
Yes.
America's sweetheart. It's because she had the
Yes.
talent, the charisma, and the personality and the relatability that
Right.
everybody seemed to connect to. So it doesn't matter if your daddy is Steve Jobs, if you're an asshole, like, sure, you might get that promotion, but eventually you might lose it too.
And would you not give that opportunity if you were in a position to help your own child or your best friend or your mother, baby mama, whatever the F, would you not want to be able to do that? So I have an issue with you having a problem and finding that like not appropriate or just like being jealous of it. It's just like, I mean, you can stay in your little jealous corner over there, but like it's silly. And I get so frustrated when people do that and just, oh well, it's just because their daddy and their mama and their what. Yes. And maybe they are trust fund babies or whatever, but like and maybe they weren't. Maybe it was my parents who my dad was a school bus driver and did upholstery, and my mom who was a social worker who then did all they had to do to get me to where I'm at. And then so now when I have my child, they're going to be way better off than I was, than my parents was, and than my grandparents were. And hopefully, I'm going to build them generational wealth, and it's just going to keep going. I just, yeah, I just love that you brought that
Mhm.
up, because it's something that we don't think a lot about. Maybe some people do. But that negativity or those thoughts about, and seeing the rich people or those folks as so different from you is part of your problem. It is.
100%.
It's like, that's why you are not them. That's why you can't afford X, Y, or Z, because you're hating on these people, but at the same time, secretly wishing that you didn't have these money problems.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many
The
things.
end.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, think about, this is not I'm not trying to talk about
Say it.
extra
It's
things.
okay.
We look at Jeff Bezos, there's a picture of him in 1990, whatever, sitting in a messy ass, room, desk, and it says Amazon in the back, like really
Yeah,
janky,
I've seen that.
He put in the work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He put in the work to be Jeff Bezos
Yeah.
and to have Amazon. He had a vision. I'm not talking about his character
Correct.
and if he's a good person or
That's
not.
right.
That's not what I'm talking
Mhm.
about. But this idea that people who have a lot of money, that's terrible. It's like, well, you're only saying that because you want more money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I want to tie it into just to get it out of the idea of just money. Like, actually, I do want to recommend this. On Audible, I listened to a book called The Last Law of Attraction Book You'll Ever Need to Read. I thought it was amazing. I highly recommend it. But one of the things that this book said, actually, a couple things I do want to bring up, is like when you're looking for a relationship, and if you see this couple being all cutesy, and you're just like, ugh, like whatever, like get a room, that attraction, that energy is keeping you from getting that. But if you change your mindset and you see that couple, and like you're like, oh my gosh, see, it's possible, like they're doing it, and then you see a little old couple holding hands, and oh my gosh, look, like I can find love like that, and I can be old and find my person and be crossing the street holding their hand. Like if you start seeing the things that if you start using the things that you see as signs. And I know this can get like, what do people say, Alicona? Who hi or whooshy shui? Wee wee.
Wee.
But if you take it, and this is what I do, woo
Woohoo.
woo, yeah, I do, and I take it as
Yeah.
like an invitation to see it is possible. Like when I see someone's Deadline article come out and they're just the lead role in this bomb ass show, I'm like, yes, yes, it's happening. That energies people are booking. I love it. Come on, auditions are coming up. People in love, getting married. Yes, me too, girl. I'm gonna be next. Like you kind of have to have this energy of like it's happening. To other people, like it's coming. Like stay excited. Same thing with money.
But that's a training experience, right? That's like a brain training experience for some people
Absolutely.
because it doesn't come naturally.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes even though you say the words, it's about the feeling behind it, right? So it's like I
Absolutely.
can say
That's
exactly
right.
the words that Valerie said, but the gut instinct is to feel or lack or not
Yes.
enough or I'm not this
Yeah.
enough
And
or
I'm
I'm
glad
not
you
that.
brought that up.
Yeah. Or like, for example, so I'll use myself as an example. I might think I want to do X, Y, and Z, but like my inner child who was grown up and raised with someone else telling them constantly that they were an quote unquote airhead and that they were stupid and they didn't know anything. So it's like I have to learn how to turn off that part of my brain, the subconscious that I don't even realize is talking to me and showing up as self doubt. And so it's easy to get on board and be so excited and hear this podcast about like money and I'm going to manifest money. And
Yeah.
you're on the train. And then all of a sudden you fall off the train because something in your subconscious shows up and it's like, well, you're not worth that much money or you're not smart enough or you're not talented enough. So that's, I think, where we start getting into the manifestation coaching that Teresa
Mhm.
does, because it's like, being able to do certain meditations and getting your brain waves to hit a certain wave so it can receive messages, et cetera, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera, So I just want to make sure I say that because it's easy to get down on yourself when you that's why like diets, you know, New Year's Eve, I'll make that resolution and then by February, who's going to the gym? And you don't know,
I
you
want
know?
to right. I
Not
want to
me.
ask you, Teresa, would you say that having
Uh,
these skills is like going to therapy and getting awareness? My thought was, as Ali Kona was
hmm,
saying this, is like, okay, but you, at least at the very minimum, you have found awareness. So would somebody like Ali Kona or like me come to you, Teresa, and we have this conversation, and I talk to you about my childhood, and you know, dad was a bus driver, and like blah blah blah, whatever. And would you help somebody like me or our listeners find that awareness and then kind of manipulate that or help kind of steer the course from that awareness? Like,
well, yeah, awareness is how we can actively and consciously change our
okay.
reality. Without awareness, we're just in default constantly, and that includes our patterns with our
Mm-hmm.
family, how we show up in the world. It literally, like, we're walking patterns, like past patterns
Yeah.
basically, and we're creating from our past whether we realize it or not. So awareness is like the hugest piece to actively changing your life. Without awareness, you're just kind of like being bumped up against life, not really feeling like you have any control
Yeah.
over it. So I would say awareness, and then another huge factor that a lot of people, this word's gonna rub some people the wrong way, but belief in God.
Mm.
You know, I believe in God, but you know, you can use whatever word you want, but something bigger, greater that is, or you could say the all of the all. You know, I believe I'm in the all of the all of existence, right? So I can lean into and have faith when my little small mind can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother practice. So with awareness and faith, you can do a lot. Those two things are really
Now I'm going
powerful.
to challenge you, because
Mhm.
now I'm a person who I don't believe in God. I'm atheist. So how does somebody who doesn't believe in any of that, is there a way that they can tap into manifestation or whatever? I mean, usually those people don't believe in this stuff anyway, but is there some kind of advice that you would give to somebody like that who's just like, okay, enough of with
Yeah.
that, but if what can you give me that doesn't involve like this idea of like, well,
Yes.
I need to believe in the higher.
Right. Well, you're okay. You're right. You don't have to believe for it to work. So that's
No,
absolutely
and I
true.
don't know, it was a
Just
real
like,
question, like I was curious.
no, I love this question because, um, yeah, you don't have to believe in God to understand manifestation principles, that there's something that you're co-creating with. It's not just you,
Mm.
right? So the way that I like to go to with this idea is that science proves that God exists.
In what way?
So you don't still don't have to believe me. Okay. Um, so we have our conscious mind, right? So our five senses, we import information through our conscious mind through our five senses, and we get to determine if something is true or real, or we accept or
Hmm.
deny through our five senses. And then it goes into our subconscious mind where we create a story, belief, meaning, identity. And uh, when that idea is accepted, it goes into our subconscious mind into a feeling, and we have a belief about it. Whether it's true or not, if we believe it's true, right? And so from there, we take actions. Our energetically, we're putting out energy out into the universe. Would you say the universe, or you don't believe in the universe? Like,
No,
or is that a weird
I do
word
believe
to
in the
use too?
universe because I believe in planets and I believe in galaxies and
Okay.
right. I just don't believe that a God and this is I'm acting, people. This is just a generalized. I'm being somebody who doesn't, but I'm
Yeah.
not saying that Valerie Ortiz is atheist. Let me make sure that's clear. Even though if I don't care if you thought that.
Okay. Okay. I thought, you know, I was
Oh
like, I did not know that about you.
But I know a lot of people close to me
Yeah.
who are.
Yeah.
So I'm just speaking for those people, and I'm sure some of our listeners, you know what I mean, like who may not believe, and I guess.
Okay, I'll put this. I got you. I got you. This is the simplest way I can put it. Is that I believe God is
Mhm.
everything. You don't have to believe this, okay? Nobody has to believe this. I believe in the all of the all. And that, in the simplest, smallest term, is everything is created out of
Right.
atoms. And in the atom is 99.99999% empty space, right? And so if everything is created out of empty space, you get to decide what you put in the empty
That's
space.
beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And that your dream, your desires are also in empty space, in an atom that you are already connected to. So, in the simplest terms, you know, what you desire, and through either attraction or you're repelling, through your energy, through your empty
Atoms.
space vibration of your atoms that live within inside your body. You don't have to believe in God, but those same atoms live inside your body, also live out in the space
In
you
this
can't
computer,
see,
on
like
this
the air
mic.
and the everything. Everything is everything. Everything is
Right.
made of atoms. We know this. This is scientific. This is not me
Correct.
making stuff up. And so the vibration of your atoms that live within your body create your reality, with co-create with the universe's atoms.
Right.
It's all the same. We think that we're separate from the more money or the promotion or the followers or the whatever it is that the fame, whatever it is, it's already exists. It already is, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just is. So to me, what just is God.
Yeah, I love that. I think
There is no
what
separation.
is so beautiful about that is it is inclusive to people who believe or don't believe, with just facts of things that can't be denied. And I think that's helpful, because for people who don't have like this fantastical brain imagination and like that the three of us have, I just think it's important to include those people, and like you can do this too, like this is for you as well. Like you don't have to believe that my crystal is charging by the moon right now, you know what I mean? Because it is. You don't gotta believe me, but but I do want you to believe in the
That's so
energy and
funny.
the atoms and all that is science. It's facts.
Yeah. I also want to take it.
Yeah, it's just like the light.
No, I was gonna say, I just no, I'm like, I am brain farting. I wanted to take it back to when I was saying, you know, you can verbally say that you deserve money, but your energy somehow is getting blocked. And so one of the things that Abraham Hicks has often said is, if you can't believe the big thing, like tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna win $2.5 million. And that's just such an unbelievable, like, quote unquote fantasy. What is believable to you that you can at least feel good about? So it's like, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and maybe I'm gonna attract a new client and I'll have like an extra $50 like by the end of the week. That might be a little bit more believable. So if you can walk into your day like feeling that extra $50, and then from there constantly graduating to larger amounts, that might be a great practice for you.
Yeah. You know what's something fun? And I did this with my followers when I was in Canada, and I was there for work. And that's if you're new to me, I find dimes everywhere I go all the time. Like just at the premiere, I found 4, like the same day within minutes, like just dimes all the time. I collect them now. It's become a thing. So I was on a walk and there was a dime, and again, like I don't know why I'm surprised, because it's been happening for years, but I just get so excited, and I'm like, see, there's another one. So I got on my stories, and I was telling my followers this about my dimes, and I wanted to challenge them on manifestation and law of attraction. And so I told them, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna say, and honestly, I don't even remember what it was, but like right now, Toucan Sam came into my head. That's not what it was, but I was just like, Toucan Sam, you guys, I want in the next 3 days, whatever. If you guys see Toucan Sam, like keep thinking about Toucan Sam, visualize Toucan Sam, and send me your post of Toucan Sam. I started getting all these posts of two. It wasn't this specifically, but of whatever I had said. People seeing it on billboards, people's on a random book on a shelf, and they're like, "Oh my God, Val, the Toucan Sam, whatever." It was so fun. So I challenge you guys, and maybe Teresa, you can pick something fun for people to think about. And I'd love to get y'all's comments, or hit us up on the IG when this episode airs, that like you saw whatever Teresa picks, because
Washboard abs.
I
You're
know
welcome.
something super random. But anyway, it's super fun, because like Ali Kona, like you were saying, when it's something like seemingly small, and when you start seeing those things actually come into your universe, it's like, oh,
Yes.
okay, what's
Oh,
next?
this just sprung an idea to me too. Something else that in that money EQ class they were talking about, like you are likely in the same financial status as the circle you keep around you, because likely you guys all have similar beliefs around money. Which technically,
Sure.
yes, like if you think about like Teresa being my friend and Val being my friend, and we're all in the same head space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like if you are in a
Mhm.
group of friends that are constantly complaining about money, even if you're changing your, what do you call it, flipping your leaf or whatever, I don't know, it
Mhm.
might be hard because you're still surrounded by people who are poo-pooing. And that's not to say like get rid of your friends, but expand your circle into people who are living a life of like wealth and happiness, and start to absorb those things. And the reason I thought of that is because Val, earlier you had said, when you see that Hollywood Reporter news article and you see somebody winning, you're like, hell yeah, like that can be me too. And so I have that mindset, but I do have moments in life where I'm like, come on, universe, this is a tease, and you're like, it's not a tease. It's coming. I'm like, oh, okay, because it just feels like, haha, girl.
And by the way, I mean, yeah, there's times where you're like, haha, girl. Oh my God, that's so mean. Universe. Not that there's not real moments of you're like, oh man, I can't, I wish that was me, or that's all natural. But for the most part, especially after reading this book and going through these exercises, like now I do get excited, because I'm like, yes, like here we go, like it's happening. And the more it happens, I feel like, I don't know, in my circle or in my vision, I see it as like validation that it's right there. It happened to her, it happened to him. Like it's that energy is vibrating, like it's already gotten to me, right? I'm consuming it. I don't know. I get excited about that. Another exercise that I thought was very relaxing, and also visually, for whatever reason, it made sense to me from that book. Um, was imagining you're going to the beach, and a lot of people go to the beach or find water super soothing, and energetically it's, right, Teresa, it's one of like the biggest forces of energy. But you're going to the beach, and whatever that you want, we're talking money, right? So I'm at the beach, I put my towel down, my umbrella's out. That's a lie, I like to tan. I don't have an umbrella, but Alicona does.
Yes, I do.
um and so I'm at the beach, and I'm making this castle, and I have all my tools, right? But the water isn't water. It's money. And so I'm making this castle out of money, because that's what my ocean is. And it's just coming, and it's going, and it's free flowing, and I'm watching it, and I'm going to go to the ocean to get some more money to build my castle. And I'm not stressed when I need more water to help like pack my sand, because it's there. And then I'm building, and then I'm like, you know what? I think I need a little bit more. So then I go back in, I grab some more, and I bring it to the shore, and I continue building this castle. And I'm so relaxed in this state, because I know there's a crazy amount of money flowing in and out, back into the ocean, back into the shore. And I'm just going to grab it as I need it, and it's there, and I feel good. And visualizing that, and I've had different visions of what the water is. I don't know. It served like its purpose. I don't know why that stuck with me, but I loved it so much. So if that helps any of you guys, use it.
Yes. Okay, so two things, because we gotta jet pretty soon. One is Teresa does have to pick her one item that everybody needs to look for.
Yes.
And then two, if you could, Teresa, leave us with one daily practice that we could do every day to attract more money into our lives. Ready, go.
So what was the first part? Sorry, I missed it. I couldn't hear.
When Val was saying, her
That
toucan
random
fan story.
manifestation
Oh, right.
item or cartoon or anything.
I'm gonna say pink elephant.
Pink elephant.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, pink elephant.
Start looking for a pink elephant, guys.
Yes, I love it.
That's gonna be crazy.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, and then give us one quick
then-
tip of something we can do daily to increase our abundance.
Okay, well, I'm friends with some monks, and there is a humongous power with meditation. And when we can clear out the mind, they talk about it like showering the mind. Our body gets dirty, we take a shower. Our mind gets dirty, it gets cluttered with the past, like the things that happen to us constantly. And they're taking up our mind space, and then we're basing our future off of what's happening in our mind right now, right? And the subconscious stuff is happening at the same time. So they use meditation as a clearing of the mind, a shower for your mind, and that we do that every day for our body. We need to do this for our mind.
I love that.
And it's so powerful, and it's just the simplest thing. And it allows you to detach from needing to know any answers, needing to figure it out, giving yourself some peace, a pause, relax. And it gives you space from your current reality, so that maybe a new idea will pop in that can actually get you to see that you are living in abundance. You just can't maybe see it right now because you're consumed with your current reality. So meditation, I feel like, is probably the biggest tool we can use. And I know a lot of people talk about it, and I know a lot of people do it. It's just, I feel like it's still underrated.
Agreed.
I love the metaphor of showering your mind. I love that. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Go for it, Ali Kona.
Oh, no, it's about that time. We got to cut it off. So thank you guys so much for joining us, bringing that money into our lives. And Teresa, thank you so much for joining us as well. We can't wait to share all our stories about pink elephants with you.
Hold on. We didn't do our what if.
Oh, shoot. We got to do
super
a what if, because we got to be out in like 6 minutes.
All right. Yes, we have a next guest coming in.
What's a what if?
So basically, you're going to say anything that you want. What if something that you've been thinking that maybe was not so great? What if it actually happens? Do you want to start, Ali Kona? Do you want me to go? I'm just going to go. What if all of our money wounds do absolutely disappear? What if we see pink elephants everywhere? And what if everything that we thought that we didn't have, we realize we have, and it comes into an abundance in all of our lives in a way that we never even imagined?
I love it. Okay, so what if by the end of this summer, I book something really huge and big, and I get to invite both Teresa and Valerie to my red carpet? And what if we see a pink elephant when we're there?
Yes.
Okay, what's your what if, Teresa?
What if you couldn't fail? What if you actually succeeded? What if you were determined? What if you were passionate? What if you were focused? And what if you trusted and believed in yourself?
Oh, that is good.
Love
like
it.
Mic
so
drop.
Did it.
Yes, me too.
Thank you so much for listening. We love y'all. Thank you so much, Teresa. Where can people find you if they don't know who you are?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at teresa.espinosa22. And you can check out my website, www.moveonpurpose.com. And I host mini retreats once a month here in Los Angeles in person. 4 hours. We go into nature. It's beautiful. And I do one-on-one sessions. So come check it out.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. We will see you next episode. Mwah.
Adios.
Goodbye.